Good afternoon, students. Previous lecture we started the fats and oil. Okay, we have seen how it looks like fats and oils, what is the chemical structure of both, and properties of the fats and oil. Now, in the today's lecture, we will see the fatty acid reactions. Which type of reaction they carried out, fats and oils, means if the degradation or any degradation occurs of that fat and acid, so what will happens, how it degraded, what is the different pathways mechanism for this degradation. Okay, uh, for by which methods they get degraded. Okay, this method we will see in today's lecture. Just start the lectures. Biomolecules, this is fats and oil is biomolecule. Why biomolecule? Because it present in our human body also, in the living cells they are present. Okay, fat is extracted from animal, vegetables and liquid form is referred to as oils. Is fat which is extracted from vegetables, like you must be seen about the example like dalda, which is example of fats from which they are obtained from the vegetables. Okay, now fats are carboxylic acid derivative. How they are carboxylic acid derivative? How they looks? Why they are called as carboxylic acid derivative? Just overview here, like uh, glycerol. How it looks? Glycerol, which contains hydroxyl group as a functional group. When glycerol is reacting with three molecular of fatty acids. Fatty acids means R means longer chain of that fatty acids, and COOH means functional group for the acid. So when this glycerol is reacting with three molecular fatty acid, it gives you fat or triglyceride. Means here that hydrogen group of glycerol is replaced with whom? Is replaced with RCOO. Okay, RCO, and then it becomes the fat triglyceride, or it is called as a fat triglyceride. Okay, before that in this we will see the esterification. What are the different esterification process, like Fischer esterification. Okay, what is Fischer esterification? In Fischer esterification is the esterification of carboxylic acid by heating with an alcohol in presence of strong acid as the catalyst. It is an nucleophilic acyl substitution type of reaction. The Fischer esterification reaction can be represented as follows. Which process is called as Fischer esterification? In the Fischer esterification, your acid, carboxylic acid, is reacted with whom? Is reacted with alcohol, high heating, or in presence of catalyst, acid as a strong acid as a catalyst, which undergoes the reaction called as the Fischer esterification. Means here this hydrogen atom of acid which replaced by alkyl group R dash. So it is formation of ester. RCOOR means it is the functional group of ester, means RCOOH acid. In this acid, one hydrogen atom is replaced by R dash OH, means R only R dash. Hydrogen atom is replaced with R dash, another alkyl group, and which you yield which one? Ester. So it is called as a Fischer esterification reaction. Okay. Then the next process we will see, or next reaction of this fatty acid is hydrolysis of fatty acids. Hydrolysis, generally they have mentioned like some description about this hydrolysis of fatty acid. The reaction can be catalyzed by acid, base or lipase, but it also occur as an uncatalyzed reaction between fats and water dissolved in the fat phase at a suitable temperature and pressure. Generally, hydrolysis of fatty acid occurs through different catalysts like acid, base, lipase is the enzyme part. Enzyme. Through this, they can hydrolyze. Okay, but sometimes this process can be occur through uncatalyzed, means sometimes it doesn't require any catalyst, it can be processed into the uh, undesired product. Like what is the reaction for this hydrolysis of fatty acid? Hydrolysis of fatty acid is reverse of Fischer esterification. In Fischer esterification, what happens? Your acid is reacting with alcohol to form ester. Whereas in this hydrolysis of fatty acid, what happen here? Here ester when reacting with alcohol, it gives you carboxylic acid and alcohol. It is the hydrolysis of the fatty acid. Hydrolysis is simple terminology or definition for this hydrolysis is addition of water. So here in this ester group, addition of water occurs and it will produces the carboxylic acid and alcohol. Whereas Fischer esterification is the reverse of this hydrolysis of fatty acid. In this, carboxylic acid is reacting with alcohol in presence of high heat and strong acid as a catalyst, and it gives you ester and water as the byproduct. Okay, this is the some reactions. You keep in mind the Fischer esterification and hydrolysis of the fatty acid, how it occurs. Then hydrolysis, you can see here one example is given here. Hydrolysis of fatty acid making soap means saponification is nothing but the soap formation, is a process that produces soap. Okay, hydrolysis yields salt of carboxylic acid and glycerol or soap solution. Generally what happens is the in the hydrolysis a glyceride or a fat, or fat means nothing but the ester ester as a functional group in this glyceride or fat. Okay, then this ester part when is reacting with NaOH or KOH. Okay, aqueous NaOH or aqueous KOH, so it yields glycerol. In the glycerol, which is the functional group? Hydroxyl group, and salt of this acid, salt of this any triglyceride acid or any acid, it nothing but the soap. It means salt of this carboxylic acid is the soap. Okay, means here soap formation is occurs, from which the ester group, a glyceride in the presence of aqueous NaOH, which gives you glycerol and the salt of carboxylic acid. Salt of carboxylic acid is nothing but your soap formation, keep in mind. Then here they have mentioned like potassium salt of carboxylic ions called as soft soap. Potassium salt of carboxylate ion, it is called as a soft soap. Okay, so this might be helpful in MCQ's question, so keep in mind. Potassium salt of carboxylic ion called as a soft soap. Then hydrolysis, in the they have elaborated some things. Soap solution is the carboxylic salt, means here in the carboxylic acid, hydrogen of that acid functional group which replaces with ion like Na plus or K plus, so it produces the salt is the soap formation. Okay, now here in this R1COO minus Na plus, in this they are elaborated. COO minus is the polar head, which is hydrophilic in nature. Hydrophilic in nature means here this tail is polar head is easily soluble in water. Polar means water soluble. And another side soap, non-polar tail hydrophobic. Non-polar tail means hydrophobic in nature. Hydrophobic in nature means they are fat soluble. Okay. In the hydrolysis, soap solution means micelle formation. How it happens? Molecule as a contain non-polar R group in polar water solvent form a spherical cluster called as micelle. Mean this, in this if any molecule which contains R group means ethyl, methyl, and number of this R group, propyl, butyl, which also represented by the R group, which is non-polar in nature. So in when it group, this non-polar group is mixes with, or it how it behaves with polar water, they form the spherical cluster in the water and called as micelle. Means non-polar molecule which forms the micelles in the presence of with the water. Okay. Then hydrogenation. Okay, we have seen like hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is the one type of reaction of this fatty acid. Also esterification. Esterification is the one type of fatty acid reaction. Okay, now next is the hydrogenation. You might be knowing what is the simple definition for the hydrogenation? Addition of the hydrogen atom in the any compound. Okay, this is hydrogenation definition. Now how it happens, what is the reaction requirement, like temperature, pressure, or any other catalyst, this we will see here. In this hydrogenation, conversion of unsaturated to saturated fatty acid using hydrogen gas on the surface of a metal catalyst such as platinum, palladium, or nickel. Okay, means if you have to perform the hydrogenation for the unsaturated compound. Unsaturated compound, either carbon-carbon double bond or carbon-carbon triple bond, means after hydrogenation. For example, ethene means C2H4, means CH2 double bond CH2 is ethene. For example, CH2 double bond CH2 is unsaturated compound. Why it is unsaturated compound? Because it contains the double bond. Means saturated compound means carbon-carbon single bond, and unsaturated compound means carbon-carbon double or triple bond. Okay, now here suppose we have to convert C2H4 means CH2 double bond CH2. This is unsaturated compound. We have to convert into saturated one. Then we have to react with this ethene in presence of hydrogen gas, presence of different catalysts like platinum, palladium, or nickel, and it will convert into the ethane like CH3 single bond CH3. Means that bond, double bond, unsaturated bond, that shifted or shared with the addition of hydrogen atom, and they get converted into unsaturated to saturated one. This is the hydrogenation process in simply. They have shown mechanism, means on the catalyst surface like palladium or platinum, they have exposed hydrogen gas on that catalyst surface, and that hydrogen atom from the gas which added onto the unsaturated bond, and it get converted into the saturated compound. This is the hydrogenation. Okay, and this hydrogenation is occurs in whom? In our fatty acids. Okay, fatty acids are long chain, they contain different double bond, so that bond get converted into saturated. Then what happens on the quality of the fat or oils, that we will see in this. Okay, now this is hydrogenation in this fats and oil. They are partial hydrogenation or complete hydrogenation. Both type of hydrogenation can occur in our fat and oil. Then we will see partial hydrogenation. Partial hydrogenation, where conditions are adjusted to ensure that only some of the double bonds are hydrogenated while other are left in place, resulting in a soft and spreadable product. Okay, partial hydrogenation means we have to do just one or two double bonds, we have to convert into the single bond. Partial means the meaning itself indicate the what is the meaning of the partial hydrogenation. Okay, so this is partial means some part of that carbon-carbon double bond of the fatty acids or oils that converted into the saturated one. Next is complete hydrogenation. Complete hydrogenation would produce saturated fatty acid and lead to lard-like product. Here in the complete hydrogenation we have to do, or we have to convert convert all the unsaturated or double carbon carbon double bond into the single bond. So this is the complete hydrogenation. Then okay, how they affect on the fats and oil. Okay, in this saturated oils, saturated means fats, saturated fats are solid at room temperature due to their molecular shape. The term saturated is in reference to a sp3 carbon chain that has its remaining sp3 orbital bonded with hydrogen atom. Thus the term saturated is saturated with the hydrogen. Saturated means carbon means all bond in the saturated compound, it is single bond. So also saturated is it's correlated with the physical properties. Mostly means like saturated means the compounds which is generally in solid in nature. Okay, means saturated compounds which have physical properties like they are solid in nature, whereas unsaturated means generally by chemical reaction it contains the carbon carbon double bond. Also this unsaturated, when it will correlated with the physical property of any compounds, so it might be semi solid or liquid. Unsaturated means it might be semi solid liquid, like unsaturated means it might contain sp2 carbon in their structure. Okay, just you keep in mind the saturated means generally they are solid in nature, saturated they're like sp3 hybridization in their atoms, whereas unsaturated means they contains carbon carbon double or carbon carbon triple bond, or they may contain semi-solid or liquid in their physical nature. Okay, you just keep in mind. Here they have shown like example, different example. In first one, linoleic acid. In the linoleic acid, you might be seeing in the structure. Look at the screen where you can see double bond in their structure. Like bond between 12 to 13 carbon chain, they contain double bond. 9 to 10 carbon carbon double bond, they contain double bond. Okay, then this tail head is there, head of carboxylic acid like COO is present in the in this linoleic structure. Okay, which is liquid in nature because they contain double bond. Keep in mind this linoleic acid which is unsaturated compound, which is how they are nature, they are fats, they are oil means liquid in nature. Now next you can see the example of oleic acid. In the oleic acid or this linoleic acid can be converted into oleic acid through hydrogenation. Okay, in presence of nickel as a catalyst. In this H2 means 2 hydrogen atom is added on that linoleic acid and get converted into the oleic acid, and here means carbon at position 12 to 13 double bond which converted into single bond, so which is structure for the oleic acid which is also liquid in nature. Okay, now this is desired product. And if this linoleic acid, if the linoleic acid is fully saturated means here complete hydrogenation process happens of linoleic acid, they can be converted into stearic acid. In the stearic acid and linoleic acid, you can see the difference between linoleic acid and stearic acid. In the stearic acid are saturated compound. Why it is saturated compounds? Because all the carbon carbon double bond are get converted into the carbon carbon single bond. The stearic acid which is solid in nature, you can see the which looks like a fats, they are solid in nature. They have shown in picture like stearic acid which looks like white mass means fats are shown on the screen. This is hydrogenation. Then also we can see we can discuss about the main purpose of hydrogenation oil to solid or semi solid fats are. Okay, purpose of hydrogenation. They are a cheap substitute of saturated fats from animal origin such as lard or butter. Okay, this hydrogenation or this product where from which they can be obtained from animal origin or butter. Hydrogenated oil are more stable than unsaturated oils. In this case, hydrogenated means which one? Stearic acid is more stable compared to the unsaturated means linoleic acid or oleic acid. The process of hydrogenation transform fatty acid that are prone to oxidative rancidity, especially in high temperature during cooking. Means during cooking at high temperature, means this unsaturated linoleic acid or oleic acid they can be oxidatively rancidified. Okay. Although butter is considered as a saturated fat food, it contains some short chain fatty acids and unsaturated fats, both of which are more prone to rancidity than long chain saturated fatty acids present in hydrogenated product. Means the compounds which have in short chain or which with they contain unsaturated bonds, they are more prone to oxidative hydrogenation. Okay. This is some part of this hydrogenation, why it is needed, how it happens on the different oils, different in the different fats. Okay. And okay, then we will see in the next, why are oil only partially hydrogenated. Means we have seen terminology like partially hydrogenated and completely hydrogenated. Okay, the what is the meaning of what is the benefit of this partially hydrogenation in the fats or oil. Okay, partially hydrogenated oil can give a wide range of consistency of the finished fat product. If we have did the partial hydrogenation of any compounds, it will gives you consistency of the that fats or oil. Like in this case, linoleic is partially hydrogenated, you will get the oleic acid. Oleic acid is, so it is desired product or which we preferred or which we have to good qualities, this oleic acid. So partial hydrogenation which gives the good consistency or required consistency as per your desired. Okay, so this is the main benefit why partially hydrogenation is needed. Then fully hydrogenating oil would make the oil hard at room temperature and not as a versatile in food preparation. Whereas look at this example, like linoleic acid is fully hydrogenated or fully hydrogenated into stearic acid, like all the carbon carbon double bond is converted into single bond. So this is what this is uh, this is this is become more hard. Okay, in solid in nature, stearic acid it becomes more hard and solid in nature. So they are not good convenient for the food preparation. So we will prefer the oleic acid because it's partially hydrogenation and they have shown or they have given good qualities of that oleic acid instead of the stearic acid. So we will prefer the partial hydrogenation. Okay, they increase the stability and the shelf life of fats in processed foods. Okay, means this due to this hydrogenation, partially hydrogenation, it increases shelf life of that acid as well as of food preparation. Okay, means in the food preparation it might be lately or delay degraded. They are extremely cost efficient and preferred for their usability in most commercial baked good. In the bakery product, they are preferred as a partially hydrogenated fats or oils. Okay, this is all about the hydrogenation, why it is needed, which are the types of hydrogenation of the fats and oils. Okay, now what is the next? Next is the rancidity of oils. Okay, rancidity of oils is the rancidity is the complete or incomplete oxidation or hydrolysis of fat and oil when exposed to air, light, moisture, or by bacterial action resulting in unpleasant taste or odor. Rancidity of oils means it is the partial or complete oxidation or hydrolysis of the your oils or fats, so that it when exposed to air, light, moisture, or by bacterial action, it produces the unpleasant taste and odor of the fats and oils. So this rancidity is not good for oil. Why oil may be might be rancidified? Because it when it exposed to the light, air, moisture, bacteria, it get converted good quality oil, fats or oil into the bad, like unpleasant taste and odor. So what is the reaction involves in the rancidity? The main reason for the rancidity is oxidative rancidification. In this, oxidation occur at oil. Oxidation of unsaturated fats produces volatile carboxylic acid. If this oxidation of unsaturated fats occurs, it produces the volatile carboxylic acid, means it can easily volatilized into the air. And then what is the hydrolytic rancidification? Hydrolytic rancidification of ester linkages in fat, and it degrades the oils. Here you can see the reaction. Fats converted into the like proton H, means in the below they have shown fat representative example which get converted into. Here proton removes itself with one electron, one radical is with these fats, then in presence of this radical goes or exposed to the oxygen in presence of air O2, then it converted into that means radical is attacked with that oxygen molecule, and they get polymerizes and volatile carboxylic acids occurs. This is the rancidification. Okay. Rancidity occurs through microbial. Microbial rancidity refers to a process in which microorganisms such as bacteria, molds use their enzymes such as lipases to break down fats. So means this both type, means oxidative rancidification, hydrolytic rancidification, and third one is microbial rancidification. These three processes can occur in the fats and oil, so that fat get converted into the unpleasant taste and odor. Okay. To avoid this rancidity of fats or oil, here some natural antioxidant in the means oxidative rancidification. In this case, oxidative rancidification, natural oxidants like which are the natural oxidants? Ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is vitamin C. Vitamin C is the natural antioxidant which can get from lemon, citrus food. Okay, this is natural antioxidant. Next is tocopherol. Tocopherol is vitamin A. Vitamin E. Vitamin E is the tocopherol which act as a natural or antioxidant. Also we can use some synthetic antioxidants to avoid this rancidity of oil, like which one? Butylated hydroxyanisole, which is referred as a BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole. Next is butylated hydroxytoluene, BHT, which can be referred as a BHT, that is butylated hydroxytoluene. Next is tertiary butyl hydroquinone, TBHQ, which is referred. Then propyl gallate and ethoxyquin. These some antioxidant, synthetic antioxidant can be used to avoid the rancidity of oil. Okay. Next is the drying of oil. Why drying of oil occur? What is which process, which reaction is involved in the drying oil? When highly unsaturated oils are exposed to air, they undergo oxidation and polymerization to form a thin waterproof film is called as a drying oil and reaction called as a drying. In this case, fully unsaturated or highly unsaturated. Highly unsaturated means the structure might contain more number of carbon double amount. Okay, they have shown like example, a representative example. In this, they contain the carbon double bond 2, then it get exposed to oxygen O2, then this oxygen is oxidation and polymerization occurs in this reaction. This oxygen bond is formed, then hydrogen atom, then in presence of cobalt as a catalyst, and that oxygen it converted on the one form, and that both bonds or both that structures, they forms the cross linking in with the help of oxygen, and polymerization occurs. This is drying of oils. In the drying of oils, oxidation and polymerization is occurs. Means this oxygen atom is helps to do the polymerization of the compound. Then we will see the saponification value. Actually, we have seen this saponification value, how to calculate, what is the principle, what is the reaction involves in the saponification value, what are the different standard saponification value for the different fats and oils. This we have covered in the practical. So we will see the definition, what is the saponification value, why it is needed to calculate, what are the representative example for this. Okay. This is the reaction in the saponification. Just we have seen like triglycerol. This ester when reacting with aqueous NaOH or KOH get converted into the glycerol and potassium salt. Potassium salt is nothing but the soap formation, is the saponification value. Then we will see the definition for this saponification value. Saponification value of oil or fat of an ester is defined as the number of milligram of potassium hydroxide required to completely neutralizing the free fatty acid to safenify by the ester present in a 1 gram of the substance. That is, to neutralize the fatty acid resulting from the complete hydrolysis of 1 gram of the oil or fat. Means neutralize the free fatty acid by using which? By using KOH. Okay, in 1 gram of the oil or fat sample. This is called as a saponification. So saponification value, significance of saponification value. The magnitude of saponification value gives an idea about the average molecular weight of the fat or oil. Means with the help of saponification value we can say, or we can conclude the which fats or oils is present. Okay, higher the molecular weight of the fat, the small is its a saponification. If the higher the molecular of any fat or oil, then saponification value is always the less one, means cross inversely proportion of the molecular weight of the saponification value. Saponification value also indicate the length of carbon chain of the acid present in that particular oil or fat. Okay, it also gives the idea about the whether long fatty acid present, short fatty acid present. This idea we can get from the saponification also. Okay, and this is about the saponification value. They have mentioned the formula, how to calculate the saponification value. Saponification value is equal to 28.05. This is the factor. In bracket, titrate value of blank minus titrate value of test sample divided by weight of sample like 1 gram. This is the saponification value. Okay, this is the all about the fatty acid reactions. In tomorrow's lecture we will see the different constants for this fatty acid and all that, like analytical constant, iodine value, acid value, saponification value, and any other.